It's usual in a video game to feel like a hero, or at least to feel like you are the strongest, most capable character currently available. Feels good. But you can't always count on games to deliver that dopamine rush of being the most competent person around, because occasionally the actual hero of a video game will, die, and you're nothing more than the schmuck tasked with taking up the gauntlet in their place. You're the sub, the reserve, the B team. As in, believe me, I'm not the guy you want for this. Here are 7 times the real hero died, so now you're in charge. Beware spoilers for the following.
Wright games would have you believe that Phoenix himself is an ace attorney. But frankly, we think developer Capcom needs to check the dictionary definition of ace, because we wouldn't have thought a lawyer at the very apex of the profession would spend quite so much time sweating and recoiling. It might not surprise you then to learn Phoenix was never meant to take the lead at this point in his career, because he's a total rookie, newly hired at the Fay & Co law firm, a legal office run by the extremely experienced and competent Mia Fey. As the game opens, Mia is mentoring you patiently through your first trial. Very patiently, in fact, considering her new hire doesn't even know the defendant's name. Is Phoenix's dad a senator or something? Mia's calm, rational guidance through Phoenix's first murder trial is invaluable, and you get the sense that she is at the height of a great and noble career. Oh, hang on, she's been murdered. Implausibly, this leaves you, Phoenix Wright, in charge of Mia Fey's law firm, despite being a significantly less experienced and heroic lawyer than your deceased mentor. Cue several entire games of panic sweating. I hope you bought more than one of that suit, Phoenix.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north.
You wouldn't call the player character in Dark Souls especially heroic, seeing as when the game begins you're languishing in a rat-infested prison looking like a piece of beef jerky that came to life halfway through the drying process. Then, suddenly, a glimmer of light, and a corpse bearing the key to your cell slams into the damp stone in front of you. Looking up, a heroic vision, a brave knight, gifting you the means to free yourself from your wretched prison. This is Oscar, Knight of Astora, who in a fair and just world would be the main character of Dark Souls. Sadly, when you next encounter Oscar, he's much the worse for wear, lying badly wounded in a partially flooded cell.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity.
Having seemingly come to the undead asylum in which the game begins to free fellow undead like him, Oscar then ran afoul of the terrifying asylum demon that polices the place. Most likely because he didn't think to try the combat technique that recently worked so well for you, running away like a coward. Oscar's kindness doesn't end with freeing you from the prison in which you were to sit awaiting the end of the world, however. He asks you to carry on his heroic fight, and gifts you an Estus flask, the all-important healing item that becomes your most valuable resource in the whole game.
Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite.
Dark Souls theorists disagree as to why the wounded Oscar doesn't simply have a drink from the Estus flask himself. Is his spirit broken, having failed in his task? Does he recognise something potentially heroic in you? Or is our alternative theory correct? That Oscar is a legend.
Oh gosh, I can't do this, Grant. Jay, look at me. I can't find Lisa and Riley and the others without you. So pull it together, okay? Okay, I'm sorry.
When it comes to holiday activities, getting kidnapped by pirates isn't high on anyone's list. Mind you, still safer than jet skiing. But getting kidnapped by pirates is exactly what happens to the Brody brothers in Far Cry 3, who go skydiving, only to end up in a cage next to the world's most unhinged dude, Vas.
You must think you're crazy, huh? Jumping out of airplanes, flying like birds. That is crazy.
Fortunately for you, Jason Brody, you're locked up with your brother Grant, quite easily the most capable human for miles around. He manages not only to untie his bonds and yours, but he quickly shows that he has the skills and the stomach to take out your dangerous captors. And no, we don't mean for a nice meal.
Holy f***, he's dead.
That is what they teach you in the army.
Grant even has some things to teach his brother, such as the need to crouch out of sight, rather than just walk upright through an enemy encampment like a weird robot.
Keep
Bullshit, Ruth. Why would I lie about this? You're...
Clearly, baby bro Jason never learned his ABCs. Always be crouching. Grant shows you how tactical he is, teaching you how to distract guards by throwing rocks, and even tells you what equipment to pick up in order to help you find your friends.
grab our stuff and the map. Pick up that phone too.
Reporting in.
Although why the hell he's getting you to throw the rock, I don't know, once we see his knife-throwing skills. Sadly, before the brothers can get out of harm's way, poor reliable Grant gets shot straight through the neck by Big Bad Vaz, leaving you, super unqualified Jason, alone to run away while being shot at.
Run, Forrest! Run!
During your escape, Jason falls over a bunch of times, accidentally stabs a dude before freaking out, and nearly drowns. But hey, the locals seem to see some good in him.
I have Jason Brody with me, the man who escaped Vast Camp alive. Your escape is a sign that the battle has turned.
Just don't let on that you would 100% absolutely have died if your big brother hadn't been there. That might dampen the mood.
Hey, you got me into enough trouble Earthside. I just want to do honest work here.
That's what we're fighting for. If we don't resist, they'll take everything.
Enough!
You'll see I'm right about this.
The protagonist of 2009's Red Faction guerrilla is Alec Mason, not to be confused with the protagonist of 2009's prototype, Alex Mercer, or the protagonist of 2010's Call of Duty Black Ops, Alex Mason. Wow, those years were a real vibe. Okay, Alec Mason doesn't exactly stand out from the crowd, and that's even true in his own game, because when he arrives on Mars as a mining engineer, he's simply there to do a job. The same cannot be said for Alec's brother, however.
How's Mom?
She misses you.
Meet Dan, who left Earth for Mars a whopping 6 years before Alec, and didn't take long to become disgusted with the governance of the ruthless EDF military group, who have turned the Red Planet into a totalitarian hellhole.
What the hell was that?
Well, the EDF. They own the road and everything else. Forget the propaganda. Free Mars is over.
We soon learn that Dan has been actively fighting the EDF as part of the Red Faction resistance group, even ending up on the EDF's kill list and being captured and interred in a prison facility that he has sprung from during Guerrilla's prequel DLC.
Hold on, I'll untie you.
In contrast to Dan's years-long struggle, Alec, a Johnny-come-lately to this whole Mars scene, is not remotely interested in joining the resistance, being more interested in remote explosions and getting paid to set them off.
Alec, the Red Faction could really use a guy like you.
Doing what? What are you people doing out here?
Whatever it takes.
I'm not a terrorist, Dan.
Dan is unquestionably the real hero here, right up until the point where he's suddenly gunned down by an EDF attack chopper. So now you're in charge of spearheading the rebellion against the EDF, despite having only heard of them about 10 minutes ago. Here's hoping they're particularly vulnerable to remote explosives. Oh, looks like they are. Wow, you got real lucky, Alex. Alec! As Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty begins, the stakes couldn't be higher.
A tanker perilously close to Manhattan is believed to be housing a new and improved Metal Gear, the heavily armoured mechs capable of immense devastation. Luckily for everyone on the planet, the hero of this game is the best of the best, Solid Snake, the legendary stealth operative from the previous game who brings his wealth of field experience to bear on the situation.
The water line is too high. According to the navigational plans, this ship should have discharged its cargo upriver.
It's in there, no doubt about it.
The military trains you to watch for threats from the stern on a boat. That's SOP for counter-terror ops too. Security should be tighter.
I understood the word boat. It's a thrill to guide Snake into the bowels of the tanker using all of his trademark tricks to evade detection and overcome every obstacle in his path. Best of all, within an hour or so he's achieved his mission, confirming the presence of the deadly Metal Gear Ray.
Metal Gear.
Worst of all, it immediately drowns him.
Snake! Snake!
With the real hero dead, or at least that's how it seems for now, the rest of the game, which centres on the terrorist takeover of an environmental cleanup facility, lands squarely in the lap of Raiden, a floppy-haired rookie whose infiltration experience up to this point appears to be limited to having a go on an Oculus Quest.
All right, Raiden. You've already covered infiltration and VR training.
I've completed 300 missions in VR.
Translation: I'm expert rank on Beat Saber. Many Metal Gear fans at the time were none too keen on the game's decision to bin off Solid Snake in favour of rookie Raiden, who would go on to become a significant part of the series' mythos, but at this early juncture is not really equipped for much of the task at hand.
Get those C4s neutralized now.
Colonel, I'm not qualified for bomb disposal.
He's probably done it in VR though, right?
You haven't had bomb disposal training per se in VR.
For God's sake, Raiden, even we've done bomb disposal in VR.
Yeah!
Oh.
51 seconds to spare.
We are the most amazing bomb defusers of all time.
Yes.
Put us in, Colonel, we're ready.
A dark and stormy night. Picking up his sword and shield, an adventurer steps out into the rain with only one goal in mind: rescuing Princess Zelda and thereby saving the Kingdom of Hyrule. If you think that adventurer is Link from The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, you're sorely mistaken, because when Link wakes up after being sent a psychic message from Zelda saying she's in the castle dungeon, he finds his uncle already dressed and ready to hit the road. Honestly, these teens take forever to leave the house. Link's uncle is well equipped to go searching for a lost princess. He's a former knight of the royal family and knows how to wield a sword. Appropriately, he tells Link to remain indoors before heading off to help Zelda. But Link only follows that advice for the 4 or 5 seconds it takes to loot Uncle's lamp, then sneak out of the house while it's still dark. Honestly, these teens. It seems like Uncle probably has this rescue thing sorted, but later, having snuck into the castle, you find your heroic guardian dying up against a wall. So now the job of saving a princess and restoring peace to Hyrule falls to this boy, I guess? Anyway, Uncle gives you his sword and shield. Then there's just time to say a few words over his corpse that, oh no, we're leaving. Honestly, these teens.
Did you see what caused the destruction?
A battle. Thor and this woman with red hair. They tore through the town. The rage between them was terrifying.
Thor was enraged. I'm not surprised.
No, the warrior. She was furious and fought like it.
2018's God of War kicks off with you chopping down trees to cremate your wife, only for a Nordic god to knock on your door, forcing you on an arduous quest to go kill him and a bunch of his mates with an axe. Bit stressful, TBH. Then, by the end of the sequel, God of War Ragnarok, you find out that your wife, Faye, didn't just used to wield the axe herself, but also she had a great big F-off fight with Thor prior to settling down. Something that she didn't tell Kratos, but everyone else seems to know about.
This feels familiar.
What don't matter.
As you journey through the realms, you're not only visited by visions of Fae giving you sage advice before spurring you on.
Time is running out, my love, and there is much to do.
But you're constantly finding out about the heroic past deeds of your wife, whether that be finding a massive great frozen lightning bolt from her epic battle with Thor, or the restless spirits you find who share their stories.
Thor was drunk, sloppy, but she was drunk on something else. Rage. It was out of control. I saw her fury with every swing of her axe.
You know, I think we've all had days like that, Faye. See, Faye was a giant, the last guardian of Jotunheim, and not a huge fan of the Norse gods, who tried to wipe the giants out in all of the 9 realms. So she and her allies did their best to save the giants and destroy the gods while she was alive.
It's your axe. It's smaller.
But when Faye's powers of precognition revealed to her that she wouldn't succeed before she passed away, before the events of God of War even started, she secretly passed the baton, or more correctly, Leviathan Axe, onto you, Kratos, the angry dude who had wandered in cluelessly from a whole other mythology.
I suppose she figured that was the best chance for the giants to live on. And now, I suppose, that's up to you.
He may not be as well versed in Norse mythology as Faye, but A for effort. A for anger, maybe?
Hey, did you enjoy this video? If so, I've got great news. We've got a way that you can go the extra mile in supporting the video work that we do here on youtube.com, a website for videos. That's not the tagline of YouTube, but I think it should be. Google, call me. I've got taglines out the wazoo over here. Hey, if you want to go the optional extra mile in supporting the video work that we do on youtube.com, website for videos. Sorry, I just got back from New York Comic Con and I'm very jet lagged. Then you can go to patreon.com/OXSC and join the OX Supporters Club, where you get access to a cool Discord where you can ask us questions like, how many takes did it take to get you that Alec Mason bit? The answer is a lot. So maybe ask me a different question because I've just given you the answer to that one. Also, there are some videos on screen now. Go watch them. I'm off to sleep off this jet lag. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.